Hi everyone, Miss Curdy here, and today we're going to be doing some additional practice for 16-5, which is finding shapes that have the same area but a different perimeter. 16-4 was the opposite. We were looking for the same perimeter, different areas. We're switching it up. And just a reminder, perimeter is the distance around a figure, and we find it by adding up all of the sides. And the area is the amount of space inside the figure, and we find that by multiplying our length times our width, much like we do with an array. So let's take a look here. We've got two figures down here, and these are an example of a shape that has the same area but different perimeter. So let's go ahead and find our area and perimeter. We already know our length and our width, and now we need area and perimeter. So I know to find the perimeter, I can say 8 plus 2 is 10 inches. So I know the other side is going to be 10 inches, which would give us a perimeter of 20. And here we have 4 plus 4, and around the sides it will be a square. So I know I have 4 groups of 4, which would have a perimeter of 16 inches. So already we've got different perimeters, but when we multiply, we're going to notice we have the same area. 8 times 2 is 16 square inches. We got to label correctly. And 4 times 4 is also 16 square inches. So both of these shapes have the same amount of space inside, but the outside is different. Just an example, a real life example, if you were planning out your backyard and you wanted this amount of space inside, these are just two ways that you can do your fencing. Here you would need to buy more fence. Here you can buy less fence, but still have the same amount of space inside. Let's go ahead and get started on some practice problems. Just like in 16-4, sometimes you'll be given a figure and you will need to find another figure that has the same area but a different perimeter. Other times we're just going to give you the area and you'll find two shapes. I find this to be a little bit easier than 16-4. So first off, let's check out what we have. Let's find what our area and our perimeter is. So I know I'm going to have 4 feet over there and 2 feet here. 4 plus 2 is 6, so I know that my perimeter will be 12 feet. And then when I multiply, 4 times 2 is 8 square feet. So now I want to find a shape that has the same area. So I have to be thinking about an area of 8 feet. So I know that area is length times width. So to find something that has an area of 8, I need to find two factors that when I multiply, they equal 8. I can't use the 4 and 2 because it's already over here. But factors of 8 could be like 1 times 8. We already know 2 times 4. So in this case, there's only 2 combinations that I can use to make an 8. So in this case, we're going to go with 1 times 8. It's going to be a longer skinny rectangle, and we'll have 8 feet here and 1 foot over there, 8 across from the 8, 1 across from the 1. So I already know that my area is going to be 8, and now I want to find the perimeter by adding it off. I always want to check, do I have my PLA? Perimeter we don't have, but we have our length, our width, and our area. So to find our perimeter, I'm going to do 8 plus 1 is 9, and I know the other side will be 9, so I'll have 18 feet as our perimeter. So when I look, I notice that they both have an area of 8, but this requires a lot more perimeter than this one. This is only 12 feet, but this perimeter is 18 feet. All right, down here we need to find two figures that have an area of 12 square inches. So if I know that the area is 12, I need to find a combination of factors that would equal 12. I know when in doubt, I can always do 1 times 12. I can also do 2 times 6, and I can even do 3 times 4. So in this case, we can actually find 3 figures that have that same area of 12. Let's go to 1 and a 12. We have a very long, skinny one. We've got 12 inches here and 1 inch over here. And I know 12 plus 1 is 13. And then when I add it again, I will get 26 inches. So here's my perimeter, 26 inches. Over here, I'm going to make my 2 inch by 6 inch figure over here. And I already know it has an area of 12. And now I want to figure out what the perimeter is. 6 plus 2 is 8. And when I double that, I know my perimeter would be 16 inches. So over here, this shape has a much larger perimeter. It takes a lot longer to go around the distance of this figure than it does here, but they both have the same amount of space inside. Same inside, different around the outside. All right, we've got two more problems. Up here, we want to find two figures that have an area of 6 inches, and down here, we want to find two figures that have an area of 18 square inches. So why don't you take this opportunity now to pause the video, give these a try on your own, and then come back and we'll see how it went. All right, so I know I need my area to be equal to 6. So I need to find two factors that would equal 6 for this shape and over here. I know my go-to is always going to be 1 times 6. And over here, I can do a 2 times 3. Those are our only two options for this shape. So I know it's going to look like a long narrow. We've got 6 inches, 1 inch, 6 inch, 1 inch. And last but not least, I can find my perimeter. 6 plus 1 is 7. So when I double that, I get 14 inches. You can say 6 plus 1 is 7, plus another is 13, plus 1 is 14 if you want to add them all up, or you can use that quick trick. Here we have a 2 inches by 3 inches. And to find my perimeter, 3 plus 2 is 5, and then I would double it to have a perimeter of 10 inches. So again, these shapes have the same area of 6, but this guy has a larger perimeter. And then last but not least, we've got 18 square inches, and I need to find some factors that would equal 18. I'm going to go with 3 and a 6. 3 times 6 equals 18, and 2 times 9 equals 18. I also could have done a 1 times 18 if I wanted to. So I know I've got 3 inches, 6 inches for the same. So now I have my area and my length and my width. I just need to find my perimeter for Paul. 6 plus 3 is 9, and then I double that, and this is going to have a perimeter of 18 inches. Remember, perimeter is regular inches, area is in square inches. And then last but not least, 9 plus 2 is 11, and when I double that, I'll have a perimeter of 22 inches, which is larger than that one. So again, these have the same amount of space inside, but this one is only a perimeter of 18, where this is 22. So it has a longer distance around the outside of the shape than this one does, but again, they have the same amount of space inside. So take a minute to look this over. If you have any more questions or you would like some more practice, meet up with your teacher to go over some more problems. Please let us know if you have any questions, and we hope you have a fantastic day. I'll see you back here for the next video. Bye.